What up? It's your boy T-Bear and Reaction. Today's Music Monday. First thing first, once again, RP Dave De La Soul, who sadly passed away over the weekend though. So we're gonna cap off Music Monday. Unfortunately, I gotta do it now. I had something to cap off, but press for time again. We're gonna cap off with the with the episode. What happened was we're gonna clear off the 2000s for the NPC machines as well, machines of the NPCs with the mid to late 2000s machine that was the last of the numbers, as I'll say it that though. Before we have our standalones as well as new age controller style NPC as well too, and touchscreen as well too. But we're going to check out the end of the first generations of the second generations of the NPCs, which the 2500, the 500, and the 5000. So without further ado, let's check out first NPC to 2500. What had happened was, let's get it.
I'm here with Akai, and we're going to talk about the new benefits and features of the new 2500.
What's up? You got your boy Direct, aka Native Shades, reminding you to hit that like and subscribe.
And the 2500 came on in 2005, by the way.
Button, because we talking about the MPC 2500. What had happened was,
and they also had the
MPC
short-lived logo.
2500. This MPC came out around 2005, 2006. The 2500 was like, you could say, a bigger brother to the MPC 1000.
Mm-hmm.
The 2500 it was an interesting MPC because it kind of brought to you features from the 2000 XL and the 4000. You know, it kind of had a build kind of structure like the 2000 XL, but the sort of a little bit of the features that the 4000 gave you. You had, first of all, you had very nice pads. Kind of different from the 1000 and the 500. The pads are a little bit more harder on those MPCs, but the 2500 had, it had some nice pads. The 2500 had a CD-ROM.
Ooh, that's right.
You can load up a CD and sample from your CD-ROM. At the time, people still had CDs that they were using, so it was pretty handy. The 2500 also had a tilted screen, which made it a lot easier when you're working on your beats and stuff like that. You don't gotta hover over it and break your neck. You know what I'm saying? You had the nice little tilt screen. It came with a 8 outs, additional 8 outs, and it also came with 4 MIDI outputs. So it was a pretty dope sampler, to tell you the truth. You could sequence all your gear together and just use it as like the hub. Now, with everything, you got critics.
Of course. Here we go.
And boy, the 2500 had some critics. As dope as a sampler the 2500 was, it did have its share of critics. And it really wasn't, I don't think, geared at the sampler itself, but what was going on with Akai at the time. You see, around this time, or a little bit before, Akai went under the same company that owned Numark and Alesis. So Akai was kind of picked up by another company. So the talk at the time was, if you had a 2500 or 1000 or something, the MPC purists, the guys that just like the old school MPCs and stuff, they would be like, oh, you're using one of them Numark MPCs.
That's probably why
they would be like,
that's probably why the logo for the MPC logo was a little slightly different compared to the others, and from the older ones before it and the new ones afterwards.
Oh, so I guess you're a Numark MPC user, huh? I can't stand these Numark MPCs. They don't have the swing that the 2000 XL has or the 3000 has. It doesn't have the sound of some of the older MPCs. So that was kind of like the shots that were taken on the 2500 at the time. A lot of the MPC purists kind of called it a Numark MPC. Numark was, of course, a company that produced a lot of really good DJ equipment. And it just so happened that the company
It was like the step up from Gemini, but also like in between that and Stanton, that was like kind of like the somewhat affordable stuff for DJing to get started as well too. While the high ends was Technique, Vestex and Rain was the higher, and they were like the ones that was good but affordable.
that owned them or that they were under also picked up Akai at the time. So, you know, it was
I know
getting
the
that
high-end
kind of
pioneer.
rap. But the 2500 was so dope that it was able to overcome any of that naysay stuff, especially when really great producers started using the 2500. Producers that were not known for the 2500 actually started using it, like Alchemist, someone known for an ASR 10 started using the 2500. Or you had Large Professor, who started out on the SP 1200, started using the 2500. You had Ninth Wonder.
Oh yeah,
known
he
for
do use
using
that.
Fruity Loops. You know what I'm saying? Who transitioned and started getting it in on the 2500. So because of this, it kind of calmed all that naysay talk on the 2500 down. So even the MPC purists at the time had to kind of take a second look and say, you know what, the 2500 is kind of a dope MPC, I guess. You know, I guess it is okay. You know what I mean? And what it did was it kind of brought in that legendary way of sampling, but you also had it where it made it easy for you to kind of bring in your new way of making music. Like if you made music on a DAW, it was easy for you to transfer your DAW samples to the 2500 and vice versa, and use it to probably sequence your DAW in some other gear. So it just kind of brought the two worlds together a lot better. So when the 2500 came out, it was about $1,700. You had to spend a little bit of money, but it was well worth it. And another great thing about the 2500 is that it's compatible with your boy JJ. You can use the JJ OS on the 2500, and it you know, operates pretty smoothly on it. You got the nice tilt screen, so everything is laid out pretty nice. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's the MPC 2500. What had happened was
all right, cool. Do you have that? Now we're going to check out the baby brother, both the 1000 and the 2500 with the 500, where it would be, like I said, another precursor for like the smaller compact MPCUs, such as and slightly portable ones, such as the MPC Live, the MPC One somewhat as well too. You know, you might have to connect it. Probably is definitely more closer to that. I will say possibly the MPC One. This one says, as you know, it's like slightly portable, but you have to need some connection to for sound and stuff like that. But anyway, let's check out the MPC 500. What had happened was. And they switched the quality while I'm at it right too, so do that real quick.
You may have seen this. If you haven't, take a look at it. You have an MPC 500 from Akai Professional.
Hold on, like I say, hold on. Let me try to fix quality.
You may have seen this. If you haven't,
Here we go.
Take a look at it. You have an MPC 500 from Akai Professional.
MPC 500. What had happened was,
Actually, one more time. I'm sorry. I hit pause and pause on my video. Now I was gonna say maybe I'm not thinking about it. Actually, kind of like maybe a little more closer to the new MPC studios. It might might be a little more closer to MPC Studio, to be honest. But possibly, but it could be MPC One's MP Studio closely. But here we go. Sorry about that.
You may have seen this. If you haven't, take a look at it. You have an MPC 500 from Akai Professional.
MPC 500.
What had happened was,
man, the Akai MPC 500. Originally, the MPC 500 was supposed to be a complementary piece to your bigger MPC. You know, if you had the MPC 1000 or the MPC 2500,
they expected you to, let's say if you was on the road or in a hotel room or at the park, make your, a sketch on the MPC 500, like a template, like a sketch of what you were going to do. And then when you got home, they wanted you to then finish the project in your big MPC. That's what was the real purpose of the MPC 500. But as always, us producers, we take something that wasn't meant to do something and we try our best to make it do that thing. We always take something and force it to do something it wasn't meant to do. But that's how hip hop was created. And that's pretty much the culture and the essence of hip hop. So a lot of the MPC 500 users took the MPC 500 and wanted that to be their main workstation. They said, you know what? Freak this. I don't give a dang about an MPC 1000, 2500, 4000. No, the 500 is going to be my main workstation. And the 500 was great because it was for a reasonable price. It was still expensive, but it was a reasonable price. Before it came, you had to drop at least, more than a G on a workstation. You know what I mean? The cheapest was the MPC 1000, which was $1,000 and change. But before that, other units was like $2,000 or $3,000. So if you were new to production and you wanted a sampler, you didn't really have that many choices if you didn't want to spend bucks. You know what I'm saying? But when the MPC 500 came out, it was about $599.
I figured that.
So it allowed some people, you still needed some money, but it allowed you to kind of dip your foot into the hardware sampling game and at least see if you like it, So
and maybe
a lot of people purchased the MPC 500.
I like the shirt he got.
And with that came mixed reviews.
Here we go.
It's weird. It's like the people that never got into sampling before.
Again, like I said, if I'm looking more, definitely looks closely to like the future MPT studios. The both 1 and the 2. Now I'm looking more, see more like that as well too than the MPC 1. I feel like maybe the 1000 is like closely based to the MPC 1 and the MPC Live, but these definitely more close to the MPC studio.
And maybe this was their first sampler. They found it as some people liked it, because those people that liked it, I find, are ones that usually combined it with their software. Let's say if they was already working with a DAW, they combined the two. So now they have their DAW working in unison with their hardware sampler. So those people didn't really have an issue with the 500. The ones that did were users that wanted to make it their main piece and just work in the box of the 500, and that was it. Those people usually had an issue because it was not the easiest thing to navigate around if you weren't familiar with MPCs. I found that most of the people that had a MPC 1000 and 2500, they weren't really the biggest fans of the 500. They were like, oh man, where's the chopping feature? Where's Chop Shop? We can't get JJOS on this. While the people that used the MPC 60, MPC 2000, like the older MPCs, the 3000, they loved the 500 for some reason. They were like, yeah, man, this is great. I got a portable MPC
Marley, of course.
So it was a hit and a miss at the same time. The 500, the great thing about it, it's its portability. That's the thing. It's like, even till today, it's like one of the only real portable samplers. Like you can literally go on the train and make a beat on this thing, or go into the park and make a beat with this. But it still had its mixed reviews. It had its pros as far as its portability, and its cons and some of the limitations that it had. But a lot of people purchased it, and you can still find it online. It was funny, about a year and a half ago, they was going cheap, $200, maybe some $150, $175 you could find. But now, man, they asking for $600, $499. The price is rising. The price is rising. I guess with all the vintage gear kind of the pricing going up, like the old SP 404s and 606.
Fat Five Freddy.
I guess now, you know, a lot of the Akai stuff now prices are going up too. But yeah, so that's the MPC 500. What had happened was
Cool.
you know, so go down low.
All right, so there you have it. That's the 500. Now we about to go into the biggest brother of it all, the biggest brother of the secondary generation. That's bigger than the 4,000, the 1,000, the 5,000, the 2,500. That is the 5,000, and that's actually the final one of the 2,000 as well. And the following of the what I call the numbers, like with the Jordan, the numbers as well too. You know, we went from the MP3 60 to the MP3 3000s, the 2000, the 4000, 1,500, and 2,500, and now we're doing the 5,000. And after that one, we get our standalones. We got a big standalone ones, our newer controller style MPC as well too, and some more portable ones that just as that, but portable with speakers and stuff like that as well too. So now we better get to and that big brother we're gonna talk about is the MPC 5000, and I say the great comparison with that to the newer ones that's out right now is definitely the MPC X as well too, and there's another one right after this that's a good comparison as well too. But as far as one that's currently out right now, this is definitely an MPC X predecessor as well too. So without further ado, let's check that out. Let's check it out. Hold on 1 second. Let me get the quality going and everything. But yeah, that's definitely the predecessor for another predecessor for the MPC X. Just like to me, the 4,000, the 3,000 as well too, and many, and I guess you can say the some of the 2000 XL, but definitely the 3,000, the 4,000 as well too. And this right here, we won't check it right now. What is the 5,000? Let's get it.
Featuring the new OS 2.0 release for the MPC 5000. The important thing to know is this OS comes directly from our users, from forums, from emails that we've received.
The Akai MPC 5000. What had happened was what's up? You got your boy Direct, aka Native Shades, and I'm gonna take you through what was the MPC 5.
And as you can see, it's back to its original font right there. So this is like one of the first one to go back to the original font. You know, it was the last of the numbers, but the first last of numbers and last of the 2000, but the first to go right back to the original font.
1000. So the 5000, this MPC came out around 2009, 2010. And Akai promoted this MPC as their greatest flagship. I mean, when you look at the NAMM product reviews and everything, the 5000 was supposed to be featured packed. This was supposed to be the MPC of all MPCs. And that's kind of where the 5000 went wrong. It wasn't so much about the product, the MPC 5000, because it was a great MPC. The problem with the 5000 was more of a situation when Big Brother lied to us.
Oh.
But with the MPC 5000, Akai made the mistake of not being very transparent with its customer. Akai underestimated its customer. Now, the MPC 5000 is a great MPC, but when it came out, they pushed it, they marketed it as better than the MPC 4000. They said, hey, you know what, this is the 5000, this is, you know, you can do real synthesis in this is the sampler beyond any other sampler. This is the best sampler that you can possibly get. You know, it's much better than the 4000. I mean, they literally said this in NAMM and things like that. So basically, the people who purchased the MPCs came out and they, you know, when they purchased the MPC, they found out, hey man, this isn't better than the 4000. What's going on here? You know what I mean? There are things that I can do on the 4000 that I can't do here. Akai really wanted to put out the product as the MPC 3500. It was supposed to be a continuation of what the 3000 was, which would have made sense. You know what I'm saying? If it was the MPC 3500, you know, it would have made sense.
Yeah, it would have.
But, you know, as rumor has it, somebody in the upper Akai management said, hey, man, if you come out and call this thing the 3500, they're going to think the 4000 is better, and they're not going to buy it. And you know what, to tell you the truth, he was probably right. He was probably right. They probably should have named it the MPC, I don't know, something else, like the MPC M or something like that.
Yeah, that's where they started to stop the numbers and to start with the names instead, which we won't see next week and going forward.
But because of that, they was like, oh, okay, yeah, well, let's call it the MPC 5000. You know what I'm saying? Even though it didn't have the features that the 4000 had, it didn't have all the features that the 4000 had. Now, the MPC 5000 also took a bad rap when it was first introduced, because they said, hey man, this is the greatest MPC of all time. I remember Just Blaze put out a famous rant where he was just tearing down the 5000 because supposedly he was like, man, you know, when Jay-Z was doing his song, he was like, you know, I had
warning the post kind of long. Oh, we had Twitter at the time in 2000.
83 sample chops, and I want to have them all pitched up. So you're telling me I couldn't just pitch up the whole program just at one time? I gotta go to each individual sample and pitch it up? What's going on here? So when the MPC 5000 came out, it had a lot of bugs, and it wasn't the sampler that it ended up being yet. You know, there was a lot of quirks that they had to work out. So because of the famous rant, the internet wasn't the internet that we know now, that rants and things like that will get lost in the internet. Right. No. If you had a famous producer rant on your product, it was pretty much the end for your product. So because of that rant, people was like, nah, man, I'm not messing with the 5000, man. Nah, you know, the 4000 is much better than, I'm not getting that. What, you getting the 5000? You crazy, man.
Nope. He said no.
And that's how people felt about the 5000. What happened, Akai is actually a good company. They fixed all the bugs. I think they made a new OS, and the new OS was dope. And the MPC 5000 is actually a dope MPC. So, you can do a whole bunch of things. It has like a synthesis simulator. You have, I think, audio tracks in it. It has a lot of things. You can hook up a turntable.
I figured that
to it and stuff like that. You can do a lot with the 5000. But you know what they say about a reputation? It takes 20 years to build and 20 seconds to ruin. And because of that bad rap that the 5000 initially got, you have people that just didn't want to give it a second chance, that just was like, nah, forget that. Nah, I'm not messing with the 5000. F that. Because that's when Big Brother lied to us, or at least the world changed. You know, it was no longer Big Brother tells you what it is and you just got to take it. No, now people expected you to be transparent with your customer.
Right.
So throughout that, Akai learned this lesson, and there's some people that still brought a 5000. You know, I got a 5000, and I'm telling you, man, it's a beast of an MPC. Anybody with the 5000 knows it's a great MPC. But it still holds that reputation. It's like you know, it's like the stepchild MPC, you could say. That,
trying to figure is that one of 4000.
You know, it's just people when they think of it, it's just like, oh, nah, Kai lied to us. So it kind of holds that kind of reputation. But the 5000 is a good MPC. It can basically do. It's almost like a DAW. You can basically do anything you want or need to do. You know, the MPC X and the newer MPCs now, they're just kind of like more advanced versions of what the 5000 was when it came out. But the 5000,
nah, he has the 3. I'm looking at it. He has the 3000. No, he looked like either 3000 2500, I think. If I'm looking at it, yeah, he has like the he was rocking the 2500. Okay,
if you have it now, man, you can you can use that thing and you have a music production workhorse. Just do everything that you need to be doing on a music production center. So yeah, so that's the MPC 5000. What had happened was
yep. So there you have it, though. This is where they failed at by naming it and by giving them false hope and everything. You know, they had to try to do a second chain with the OS, so that's that. So that's probably why they stopped with the number. That's probably the only reason why they stopped with the numbers and start with names as well too, which we'll see next week as well too. Going for the 2010 to now 2020 as well too, and we might sooner or later see one about my good old buddy right here. Take the headphone thing off. The MPC Live 2 or the first mod, the live one. But anyway, this has been a good tool for me. Good Christmas present for me a couple years ago, last year I should say, and I took them full advantage of as well too, making beats on my sound. This was mostly on my SoundCloud. I tried to put it on my YouTube. Reason why I haven't yet, cause trying to edit it and put it to a video is a pain in the butt. Which was like an easier way to upload my videos, my beats to YouTube without doing all that. But whatever. I gotta stop being lazy. But either way, SoundCloud, just grab a picture and call it a day. But other than that, if you like my reaction, like, share, subscribe my YouTube channel. Next week we'll continue with the MPC. On next Music Monday we'll continue with the MPC with their first standalone, their first official standalone as well. Well, their first level standalone and not using numbers as well too. That became another predecessor for the MPCX. But anyway, it's your boy T-Bear signing off. One love.